This is the card holder here once again, and I'm back to do a video on the Shaw Brothers DVDs that I own, or the Shaw Brothers films that I own that are directed by Lau Kar-Leung. Now, I just wanted to do this because I just received some news. I didn't just receive it, but it interested me. It's been happening a while now since I think August and November, I think September. So RZA was planning to. RZA did a live score for the 36th Chamber of Shaolin. You might know RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan, and if you don't know, that the 36th Chamber of Shaolin had a very huge impact on his life, and he said he has never seen oppression outside of his country. So that's really interesting. So I'm glad he appreciates that film as much as I do, because that's one of the best films ever made. So I just felt like doing this video because I have nothing else better to do. Well, I actually do, but I'm not doing that right now. So let's get started. All the movies are in chronological order here, as you can see. And let's continue. This is from 1977, Executioners from Shaolin. The cover is not staying true to the film at all. This movie came out in the 70s, guys. CGI didn't exist. But this is a movie about Hong Chi-Guan, who was a Shaolin hero at the time. You know, the temple gets burned down and he escapes, and he finds a way to run away from the Manchus. And the person who killed Priest Chi San, who was Hong Chi-Guan's teacher, was Priest Pai Mei, played by Lo Li. Lo Li does a wonderful job as Pai Mei in the film, and the character inspired Quentin Tarantino so much that he wanted Gordon Liu himself to play Pai Mei, but he played Tun Jian Jin in this film, which he's known as the Shaolin Hercules because he was strong. So yeah, really great film. I have no idea why people thought this movie was disappointing, because at the end, I don't see how the ending is disappointing at all. Chen Quan Dai dies in the film. He makes a sacrifice for his sons and his family, so they won't have to get hurt. So it's a good thing that Wang Yu's character, not Jimmy Wang Yu, Wang Yu's character, takes revenge on his father, Hong Chi-Guan. He plays Hong Wen-ding, and he learned the Tiger Crane style just as Hong Chi-Guan did. So it's a good thing that he took on his legacy and killed Pai Mei in the end. I really like this movie. This is one of the best martial arts films I've seen. Yeah, check out Executioners from Shaolin. A really good movie. And Shaolin Mantis, I just recently watched this one not too long ago. This one is really different. I don't think you've ever seen the Mantis style displayed on film until this movie came out in '78. And the way that the style is displayed in the movie is pretty top notch. David Chang does a wonderful job in this film. I think this was his first time at the time training under Lau Kar-Leung, and he required a lot of wisdom and just mental thought to become a better person when he was trained under Lau Kar-Leung. This is a great film, one of the best Lau Kar-Leung has ever done. I don't have all his films, obviously, but I plan to get all his films. But check out Shaolin Mantis if you can. There's a special appearance by Gordon Liu in this film as well. And yeah, check this movie out. I'm not going to explain too much about the plot because I just want to go through this as quick as possible. But check this film out. And then, one of the best films ever made, as I was referring to earlier, the 36th Chamber of Shaolin. This film came out in 1978, right before this film came out. This film came out the same year. The 36th Chamber of Shaolin is probably one of the best films ever made. I'm not exaggerating here. I'm dead serious. This is one of the best films ever made. It's probably the best martial arts film ever made, but like I said, I see why RZA was inspired by this film. It's influential. It has messages. Uh, to get out of some, like, if you want to get out of a certain world, like, if you just want to just start anew with your life, like Gordon Liu's character, he started anew with his life by going to Shaolin Temple and learning new things and acquiring wisdom and learning how to be a better person. And the 36th Chamber of Shaolin explores that message precisely. It's just a fantastic film. Of course, I give this film an A+. I'm gonna review this film as soon as possible. But I would have loved to see RZA rescored this film because his music is freaking awesome, and I would love to see it. But I just checked out the tickets in NY, and the tickets are $45. I was like, heck no, I'm not paying that much for some tickets. Like, no. But guys, if you have not seen this film, please do check it out. I know certain martial arts enthusiasts have already seen this movie more than once, but guys, you do owe yourself to watch this film. You will not regret it. One of the best films ever made, in my opinion. Starring Gordon Liu, Lo Lee as the bad guy, as he does really well, and yeah, the fight choreography is excellent. Everything up to the acting, to the photography, everything about this movie is freaking fantastic. And I love the opening sequence with Gordon Liu with the little rings. I always wonder what those felt like, but oh well. But like I said, I'm not exaggerating. Please check this movie out. It's just as good as Metropolis. If you haven't seen Metropolis, it's a silent film from the 20s, which I'm not talking about here. I'm talking about martial arts films. But definitely watch this film. You will not regret it. The 36th Chamber of Shaolin. Freaking great movie. Great movie. And here we move on to 1979. Mad Monkey Kung Fu. This is a hilarious martial arts film. This one's actually funny. Some martial arts films, they try to do comedy, and they're not actually that funny. This one's actually pretty funny. It stars Lau Kar-Leung, and is directed by Lau Kar-Leung, and it co-stars Xiao Ho, who was like a very acrobatic, excellent martial artist. He's great in the monkey style in this film. And basically, it's about a performer in the Peking opera who's basically he gets turned on by his best friend. He wanted all the power, he wanted all the money, so he damaged his hands by actually Lo Lee's character, he framed him saying that he was drunk. He was drunk, and he beat up everybody, but that's not the case. So he came up with an excuse so he can break his hands, tear up his hands, so he will no longer practice the monkey style, and just completely ruin him and take all his power, take all his money, take everything. But he will regain that. He won't regain it all the way, but he will. But Noli's character owes Lau Kar-Leung an apology because he has a new prodigy on his side. So yeah, really, really good movie, really funny, really energetic. I love this movie. Definitely check it out. And here's an example of a film that tries to be funny but is really not that funny. It's Return to the 36th Chamber. This is a really good movie as well. It's a pretty good sequel. It's not accurate to the first film, but Gordon Liu plays a totally different character, pretending to be Monk Sante. Monk Sante was the character that Gordon Liu played in the first film. And this movie isn't that funny, but it's still very enjoyable. It's funny at some parts, but for the most part, it's not really that funny. That's my major flaw with this movie. But again, the fight choreography is always great from Lau Kar-Leung, man, and Gordon Liu, Johnny Wang or Wang Long Wei. He's the villain in this film. He makes a great villain, and yeah, this is just a really good movie. Yeah. I think this movie came out in 1980, if I'm not mistaken. But this movie does have some entertaining parts. I mean, uh, Gordon Liu's character has to go to Shaolin, actually pretend to be a monk, and so he can just not learn martial arts, but he can just go in there. Well, I haven't seen this movie in a while, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But I guess he wanted to learn martial arts so he can protect his dying mill that's under the control of the Manchus. So definitely really good movie with a great premise, but not that funny. And the 8 diagram pole fighter from 1983 or 1984. I'm not too sure, but this is another one of the best kung fu films ever made. I can't say it's one of the best films ever made. It probably is. I haven't seen this film in so long, but it's definitely one of the best martial arts films I've ever seen in my life. Starring Gordon Liu again. This is Alexander Fusheng's last and final full performance that he did. It's so sad. He died in a car accident. He will be missed. But Fu Sheng, I believe he delivers the best performance in his entire career in this film. And I just love Fu Sheng in this film. He's tormented. He's mentally, he's just crazy because all his brothers were killed in the Battle of Chin Sha. General Pan Mei was a friend of the Yang family, and since one of the Yangs got in a quarrel with Poon Mei's son, he just got really mad and declared war on the Yangs. But that wasn't their fault. Poon Mei's son declared war on them, and that he had nothing to do with that. So it's just kind of sad because all of them passed away. All of them were killed in battle except for actually two. When Fu Sheng came back, he was the only one that came back. They thought he was the only one. But Gordon Liu was the second survivor as well. And just like the 36th Chamber of Shaolin, he wanted to start anew. And start a new life. He still wanted to get revenge. But he wanted to devote his life to Buddha and learn the ways of the Shaolin and the Buddhist temples and just get revenge on Pan Mei. This is a wonderful film. One of the best kung fu films I've ever seen. I'll say it again. Look at that still, man. Oh my gosh. There's Philip Coffey right there. Man, the freaking photography. The photography in this film is freaking epic, bro. Like, it would have been cool if this movie was at least 2 hours, but this movie is only 97 minutes, which is a shame, because this movie felt like it could have been an epic. You know, it has that epic status, and that's why I appreciate this film. Please check out the 8 diagram pole fighter if you haven't seen it yet. You won't regret it. And here's the third in the trilogy, The Disciples of the 36th Chamber, written and directed by Lau Kar-Leung, and also choreographed by Lau Kar-Leung, including Xiao Ho and King Chu. And this is a true sequel to the 36th Chamber of Shaolin, because Gordon Liu is actually playing Monk Sante this time, and Xiao Ho is playing Feng Shiyu, who is a Shaolin folk hero. This movie is actually really solid. It's really good. But again, there's some moments in here that feel a bit rushed, and the comedy somewhat doesn't work in some parts. But it's still a very enjoyable film. This movie looks wonderful. It is wonderful, but it's just that, it has a wonderful story, wonderful characters, good character development, everything, but it's just extremely rushed in some parts, and it tries to do some comedy just like its predecessor, but it doesn't work, just like Return to the 36th Chamber. But again, I still enjoy it just as much as Return to the 36th Chamber. Really good movie. This one came out in 1985. This one came out in 1986. I think this is the only Shaw Brothers movie Jet Li ever did. This is Martial Arts of Shaolin. It's directed by Lau Kar-Leung. I think this is a third in a trilogy, if I'm not mistaken. It's a sequel to Shaolin Temple and Kids from Shaolin. I have yet to see those movies. There was an accident there. But as I was saying, I wonder why those two films were not Shaw Brothers movies. This is the only Shaw Brothers film in that trilogy. But you know, it's a very enjoyable movie. The kung fu is great. The freaking photography. This is probably the best photography I've seen in a Shaw Brothers film since freaking what Shaw Brothers movie has good photography? Oh, Flying Guillotine. This movie has just as good as photography as the Flying Guillotine does, and you know, that's hard to say, but this is another one of the coolest martial arts films I've seen. The comedy does work. You know, this movie's actually funny, and Jet Li does a really brilliant job doing his martial arts. You know, with the pole fighting and all. And this is just another revenge story and simple stuff. But this is freaking excellent martial arts in this film. It's filmed well. There's even a fight. There's even a fight filmed on the Great Wall, which is freaking amazing. You know, check this movie out just for the scenery. You will not regret it. And the martial arts choreography. This is a really good movie. Martial arts of Shaolin. And last but certainly not least, we have a late Shaw Brothers film that came out in 2002 called Drunken Monkey. This movie is directed by Lau Kar-Leung, and this movie is basically about Lau Kar-Leung's character working in a delivery service bureau, and he gets betrayed and almost killed. But then he goes on his own and trains his own people so he can get revenge on them. It's kind of like Mad Monkey Kung Fu in a way, but this is it's not more serious, but it does have some comedy, and this movie is funny. But it's kind of a remake of Mad Monkey Kung Fu if you really think about it. But it has Chi Kwan Chun in there who's a co-star of Fu Shang in movies like Marco Polo and the Shaolin Avengers and movies like that, and you got Gordon Liu in this film as well. This is a really good movie. It reminded me a lot of the old martial arts films that he made in the 70s. You know, this is a really good movie. I actually really enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. I recommend it. So that's my Shaw Brothers. That's my Shaw Brothers films directed by Lau Kar-Leung that I own. I do plan on collecting more Lau Kar-Leung Shaw Brothers films, so just bear with me, and I'll probably have an update as soon as possible, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. So just stick with me, just bear with me, and I'll try to make as much videos as I can. In the next video, I'll try to do my Chang Che Shaw Brothers DVD collection, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, you have a blessed day.